Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. The S&P 500 was up a little bit more than 0.1% today. It was actually down for most of the day and then rallied right at the end. Of course, Nvidia was reporting earnings after hours, so maybe there was some optimism on what they might do. However, we have seen kind of tech stocks selling off here over the last, say, week or so, heading into this earnings report. Again, the expectations were so high, and maybe, there was some fear that they would miss. Well, they didn't miss. They jumped over every barrier. They beat on revenues, on earnings, and they even have a higher projection for this first quarter that we're in now than what was expected by a fair amount, actually, on the revenue basis. What they're doing is really incredible. The report today was for the fourth quarter of last year. Nvidia reports quite late during earnings season, and they had 22 billion in sales. If you look at the fourth quarter of the year prior to that, in 2022, they had $6 billion in sales. So that's pretty incredible. And their earnings grew 486% per share over that period of time, over that year period. So just amazing. And what's important about that is, they're kind of the picks and shovels seller of this AI gold rush that's happening. And so it really is sort of seen as a bellwether for how AI is doing, how much it's going to be used in the corporate world, what future it might have. Again, very similar to what we saw happening, in my opinion, to Cisco at the beginning of the dot-com run. And if we plays out the same way, we'll still have lots of picks and shovels that run here at the beginning, and eventually it'll become smaller companies, that have less, impact altogether, and some of the mania that usually kicks in these types of scenarios. But in the interim here, as we're going kind of a 95-like year that we're having, this is a great sign, actually. I thought today's earnings report was important. So did Wall Street, and I thought it was really good. And again, the expectations will be ratcheted up for this first quarter that we're in now, that they'll report, quite late in the next earnings season. But nonetheless, it does show some significant growth in this arena. And actually, the CEO of Nvidia said that, AI is reaching a tipping point where, it's going to become, something even bigger. So that, I think, is important. Certainly going to see some competitors. Got lots of different companies trying to make, chips, and AMD has announced, another chip. And again, if you own Nvidia stock directly, maybe that has an impact or not. Some of the big companies are even trying to make some of their own chips, Microsoft, things like that. But if you look at it from a broad market perspective, which is kind of how we invest, is in the broad market as a whole, this could be a really good sign here. A lot of companies may not be selling AI equipment and things like Nvidia, but they might be able to use the artificial intelligence to increase their profits, which is exactly what happened in the dot-com boom. Not every company was selling dot-com related things, but a lot of companies are now making more money easier and faster with less cost because of the internet and the advent of the internet. So that's kind of what they're looking at here in terms of artificial intelligence. We've got a long ways to go before we really see how this plays out, but that's the hype at the moment, which does matter in this particular case. So really good day, I think. Tomorrow could be great. Nvidia did report after hours, so might have some impact coming through tomorrow, especially in the tech stock arena, especially for the companies that people think are going to benefit from a higher AI presence, as far as that goes. So watch for that tomorrow, and we'll talk about that on my video then. Thank you very much.